of a board, and I couldn't do this without them. And if they would stand when I give their name, would they stand up? Judge Morris Buzz Arnold, would you stand up? Hope Coulter. Oh, stay standing, you're a pastor. Werner Trishman. Joe McDougall. Griff Stockley. Trent Lee Stewart. Jack Butler's on the board, but he's not here. Now I want all the past winners to stand. Everybody that's a past winner, stand. Please. Everybody, give them a big round of applause. Thank you. Ian McMath, my nephew, is a film director, and he's just back from 4.5 years in China, where he's been studying language and making movies. He owns a film company called North Capital Productions. You've seen probably some of the logo up there. He recently was assistant director in a stage play someone wrote called Lincoln's Dream. And he wants to show us something about it, about a short segment of about 7.5 minutes. Okay, Ian, let her roll.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce myself. I am Frederick Douglass, Douglass with 2 S's. A trusted and dear confidant to President Abraham Lincoln, I was born a slave in Maryland, the son of a different but older union, that of a white master and a black slave. Abraham Lincoln, God rest his soul, was a great believer in dreams and was haunted by 2 that were painfully recurrent. First was the dream of seeing himself in a mirror with 2 heads. Well, Mrs. Lincoln, Mary Todd, said that it meant he would be reelected but not survive the second term. The other dream related to water, of seeing himself floating on a vessel toward a very dark, vague, and menacing shore. Well, this he dreamt before some great event or battle, even the night before his own death. Who knows the meaning of dreams? I do not. They are the mares of our nights, you might say. The busy steeds of our sleeping, still, restless mind. Unsaddled of our daily thoughts, dreams come upon us like riderless horses unleashed into the field of repose to romp, play, and plague us as they please. At age 19, Abraham Lincoln sought his fortune from a fortune teller in New Orleans. Now, some say such things are solicitous of Lucifer. Well, I cannot say if that is true. But Abraham was plagued by ambition, and it was by that same sin that angel fell. Abraham told me of this encounter, and one word came to my mind: fate.
Your hands are filled with blood, power, war, fame, and madness. You are born under a lucky and unlucky star. You will do great things, but leave them undone. You will have sons and lose all but one. You will get all you wanted and nothing you wished. You will be loved in death more than in life. You will be mortal and immortal at once. You cannot escape it. This is your fate. Young man, you will be president of the United States.
Lincoln said that if this is true, then I shall hit slavery and hit it hard.
Enough. That is only half the story. What about me?
Booth, John Wilkes Booth.
Booth. Let that tremendous name echo in your ears. Booth, John Wilkes Booth.
Ladies and gentlemen, The traitor is in our midst.
Traitor! I am a savior. I slay the tyrant. Our great nation owes all of its troubles to that beast.
Tyrant, beast. This man speaks of our twice elected president.
Take the man's appearance, his pedigree, his coarse, slow jokes and anecdotes, his vulgar similes, and his policies are a disgrace to the seat he holds.
Mr. Booth, the abolition of slavery and the preservation of our union are triumphs not only for our nation, but for all mankind. Hardly a disgrace.
Open your eyes, Douglas, with two S's. His policy is a great betrayal because this union was made from consent, not coercion, from brotherhood and not bayonets. Slavery was here from the beginning.
And now it is over. How easily you speak of slavery. Why don't you become a slave yourself?
You bite your tongue,
We
Douglas.
will not listen to any more of your poison.
No.
You prove the evils of slavery oppress the master as well as the slave.
I will have my say. This country was made for the white, not the black. So black and white will never live in peace together.
This country was made for those who would forge their own destiny. Black and white can and will live together in peace. It's the only way. Ain't nobody going anywhere.
Where, pray tell, does all that cotton come from for your mills in Massachusetts? It's smuggled up through Memphis. It is picked by Mississippi and Arkansas slaves. That's how. And Grant can't stop it. Lincoln cannot stop it. There's too much money to be made, and nobody can stop a greedy Yankee grabbing his dollar.
Oh, the portrait of obsession, ladies and gentlemen.
This coffee we'll drink tonight will sure taste fine, and it will be sweetened marvelously with sugar. And that cigar you might have had last night, it was the very best. And who picked that sugar and tobacco in Cuba and coffee in Brazil, do you think?
You speak for the past. We welcome the future.
No. 1,000 times no. The fire that is raging in our nation's heart was lit and fanned by damnable abolitionist doctrine and tyranny under a backwoods ape. Do you know that Lincoln fancied himself walking in the footprints of old John Brown?
John Brown, what are you talking about?
But Lincoln is no more fit to stand with that rugged old hero. Because John Brown was a man inspired. John Brown was one of the grandest characters of our century.
John Brown was one of the most fervent abolitionists of all.
And I was at the foot of his scaffold when he was hanged. I've never seen such courage as was in that old man's countenance. Do you know he shook the hand of his executioner? He stood there quietly with a noose around his neck for some 10 minutes. An eternity. That is conviction. That is passion.
That's contradiction. That torment in your mind. You saw your opportunity to become immortal. So mad with a lust for fame that you assassinated Lincoln to ride on his coattails throughout history.
Do you truly think it was so simple? It was preordained because I too saw the fortune teller. Only she came to me and she professed my fate in the dark wilderness.
Ah, you have a very bad hand. The lines are all crisscross. It is full enough of sorrow, full of trouble and plenty, everywhere I look. You will break hearts. They will mean nothing to you. You will die young, leave many to mourn you, many to love you, many to loathe you. You were born under an unlucky star. In your hand, you hold a thundering crowd of enemies. not one friend. You will make a bad end. You will live a fast life, a short one, but a grand one. Infamy is your destiny.
If only they spoke lies. But what they say is the truth. There are too many coincidences in the stories of John Wilkes Booth and Abraham Lincoln to be mere happenstance. Their fates intertwine in an immortal dance of destiny.
Applause for our actors. A round of applause, please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros. My name is Mackenzie McMath Coronel, and I am a representative of Women in Film Arkansas and the producer for North Capitol Productions.
Hi, I'm Ian McMath, founder and creative director at North Capitol Productions, known in Beijing as Beidou Japan. It is an honor to have your attention tonight. As you can see, we gave you a glimpse of one of the most compelling stories in American history. A story familiar to most, but as our villain has just pointed out, there is still more to be told. The story of the family of Booth set off a chain of events that turned the wheels of fate and forever changed our nation's history.
The feature film, Booth, is adopted from the play Lincoln's Dream by Philip H. McMath. The story unveils curious encounters, divulges family secrets, and witnesses the devil's doings. All of the facts presented in this story are historically accurate. Through thorough research, the story has been built upon the personal accounts, letters, and diaries of these same characters, as well as the persons who knew them in life.
This film will be produced by an Arkansas-driven creative team with the International Support Network of North Capitol Productions.
If we have piqued your interest or tickled your curiosity, we invite you to pass by our table this evening upon your exit, or speak with Ms. Katherine Johnson for further information. We would also like to take this moment to congratulate Ms. Jo McDougall on her Lifetime Achievement Award this evening.
Thank you all for your attention, and I hope you have been entertained.